Listen, if you don't fucking enjoy the sound of this song, we're fucking off. This one's called Postal Breaker. Sitting in this cell, you must have been I didn't do. And all I can think now is me, I think of you. But come on and baby, coming back for you. Sing it! It's gonna be a postal ranger. 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 But now I've got the chance to know what about what I do. But I've done the things that are just for you. Now get it out, coming back for you. It's gonna be a postal ranger. It's gonna be a postal ranger. It's gonna be a postal ranger. It's gonna be a postal ranger.
Welcome everybody. Hope you're okay. I'm Mrs. Moonstomper.
And I'm Mr. Moonstomper. Guys, it's amazing to have you on board. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really do appreciate it. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on board.
Oh yes.
If you're new to the channel, thank you so much. And if you've subscribed, thank you so much as well. We really do appreciate it. Isn't the channel growing, Mrs. Moonstomper?
Gosh, growing like a lovely, lovely tree.
It's like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh gosh, yes.
Something like that.
Something like that.
And guys, if you're a returning OG, thank you so much indeed. We do appreciate it indeed. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, today's episode, Sham 69.
Sham 69.
Absolutely.
Harry, come on.
So, this is I would say this is a really troubled band. Mm. But I would say this band, without this band, then would Oi music exist?
Maybe.
I think it probably would. It probably would do. But this is one of the bands that this band could chant.
Oh yes.
It was. You could hear the football.
That's it. I was going to say that
background.
Football,
it was.
Yes.
It was. Skinheads and football. It's that. It's
and
that.
Come
It's
together.
it's just
you get.
that. It's exactly that.
Yes.
And you can hear, in sort of later incarnations, not Sham, but later bands who like Sham, bands like the Rejects, but Oi bands.
Yes.
You can hear the influence.
Definitely, yes.
But they weren't always like that, Mrs. Moonstomper.
Oh no.
Were they?
No.
So, what were they first called?
Jimmy and the Ferrets.
Jimmy and the Ferrets.
Yes, Jimmy Pursey, the lead singer.
Now, if my memory serves me correctly, now we don't sort of really tend to look this up much.
Oh.
And we're just going off what we know.
So skim over, don't we?
Yes. So if I get it wrong, do excuse me. But I think originally they were doing covers of the Bay City Rollers and Gary Glitter.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Oh, right.
And so how did they get that punk influence then, Mrs. Moonstomper?
They got their influence from listening to the Sex Pistols.
Watching the Sex Pistols, actually.
Yeah, watching, yeah. So there was at one of their concerts. Yeah, and Jimmy Pursey thought, oh, I'll have a bit of that.
A lot of bands actually got influence from the Sex Pistols. So love all over the Sex Pistols. The one thing I'll say about that group, not that we're talking about the Sex Pistols today, they've got a lot to answer for.
Oh, yes.
Especially Malcolm McLaren. But we're going to have a Sex Pistols special, I think.
Yes, we are.
And they do deserve a spot on the show, as much as some of you may loathe them.
May or may not.
But... yeah, they do need a space on the show, so that'll be
coming at you.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yes.
So, gaining that right now, the original members, which was obviously Jimmy Pursey.
Yes.
A troubled soul, I think, if ever I saw. Well, I think he's a troubled soul. I do.
I suppose he didn't act like it on stage, but maybe off stage.
No, well, the beauty of punk is, for the first time, you can get up and you can do what you want and you can say what you want. So you can be Jimmy Pursey off stage.
Yes.
But you get on stage and you can be whoever you want to be.
Somebody completely different, yeah.
And you can say what you want to say, you can do what you want to do. And that was the beauty of punk, it wasn't the Pink Floyd element of writing songs that take 2 years to write, which are musical masterpieces.
Yes.
And you can't take anything away from that. Those are real musicians.
Oh yes.
But it was the fact you could write something in 10 minutes, you could slam something together in 10 minutes.
That's it.
And it was rude, it was dirty, it was violent, it was raw, it was in your face. And that was the excitement of punk.
Okay, yes.
In the UK. Now, America's slightly different.
Completely, yeah, slightly.
Slightly different.
Yes.
But it's the shock value, isn't it?
Of course.
The shock, it's the smack in the
what
face.
They aim to do.
It's exactly that.
Yes,
and
of course.
it works. It works. But so the original lineup then, was it Neil Harrison?
Neil Harris.
Albie Slider was
Albie Slider.
And
Johnny Good for Nothing.
Johnny
Good, but he calls himself Good for Nothing.
And then Billy Bostic as well.
Billy Bostic,
as the drummer. Proper name, that is. Proper name. Billy Bostic. I wonder if that's through the glue. I just the glue abuse or what.
He took that name and it stuck.
Mrs. Moonstomper, see what you did there. Right.
Oh, dear.
So they quickly racked up a reputation and a following, a really loyal following. And I would say some of that following came from original skinheads. And I would say it came from boot boys as well.
Oh yes.
So it's a hangover from the boot boy days of because they only just got out of boot boy as well, hadn't they, in the early 70s?
So, yes.
So you're going back to something like, pub rock like Eddie and the Hot Rods, stuff like that. And it kind of gained that following, but it gained a younger following as well. So punks especially.
Yes, oh yes.
Especially a band that raw.
Gosh.
The Sex Pistols are raw. The Clash, The Clash
are sort of in between, do you think?
I like The Clash, but
I do.
The Clash in no way, and I've said it a million times, The Clash weren't punk.
Even though people put that label on them.
They weren't punk.
We call them punk.
Put
them in that genre.
The Stranglers weren't punk either.
No,
they were not punk.
They're dubbed as that as such.
Well, because it was just a thing, wasn't it? So anyway, off that subject and back onto Sham.
Yes.
Now, Sham concerts were violent, weren't they?
There's always trouble. They didn't want trouble. They didn't like the trouble, but yet there was trouble in the concert whenever they came on stage.
And there's loads of sort of stories about that, of how that sort of came about, and how the sort of skinheads infiltrated and allegedly turned it into that. Now, I think to tar all skinheads with the same brush and go, do you know what? It's because of you guys. It's not.
No, it isn't, is it? You can't do that.
No, you can't. But people do.
Yes.
People do, but no, so, and we're on that bandwagon again. But it's...
But sometimes it can't be helped.
It is the fucking season for that. And the reason I say that, because between 1975 and 83, that was just the way it was.
That's it, it's the way it rolled, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way it was, with race riots, with
the political unrest as well.
Yeah, again, politics.
That caused the race
rotten
riots.
Politics ruins music.
Strikes again.
Yeah, but so anyway, going back to these guys, right? I think they're an amazing band.
I do.
And
I do.
And they sound so original as well.
They do.
How can you sing with a Cockney accent? But they just do.
You can.
They just do. But the Rejects did it, and loads of people have done it afterwards.
They did.
And it just fits.
Yes, it did.
It just fits. It's Millwall. It's West Ham. It's Chelsea. It's that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really, really good. So.
Oh, sorry.
Go now, please.
The Hersham and the football club.
Also, how they got the name.
Oh, yes.
So, right, okay, well, there's rumours, isn't there? There's many rumours.
Yes.
So, was it Hersham and, what was the name of the football club? Hersham and Waltham.
Walton
And Hersham Football Club.
Yes,
That's a hell of a mouthful, isn't it?
Somebody graffitied on a wall and they saw like a bit of it faded. What was left of the graffiti was Sham 69.
Yeah, because it's didn't they win? Right, so didn't they win a trophy, this football club? Didn't they win a trophy in 1969 or something?
Yeah.
They won some sort of cup, like Athena Cup or...
Something like that.
The
Athenian League.
Yeah, some sort of...
League.
A league. Okay, fair enough.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah. So they won that, and then it just sort of, this graffiti's worn off. But then I've heard stories where it's been written in
the men's toilets in the urinal.
I don't think it's actually been written in the urinal,
Well,
and then it's been pissed over like for years till it wore off. I highly doubt
It's
that.
just like, I don't know, some sort of a myth or that.
So it's just the last four letters, Sham 69.
Sham 69.
And do you know what? That's...
They picked it up and ran with it, and yes, they used that name.
I think it's a brilliant name. I think it's and it suits them as well.
Proper goals.
It suits them. How many times did you see that graffitied in the 70s? Also, that loads. Sham 69.
Oh, yeah.
Written on the back of people's jackets and stuff.
On the school desk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scratched in.
Those were the days.
Gosh.
Yeah. So their first single, right? They didn't have their first single.
Right.
In 77, so they didn't have a professionally produced single
until
77.
Yeah, because I formed in 75, and then yes.
Yeah.
I Don't Wanna.
No, that was produced by John Cale from the Velvet Underground.
Oh yes.
Of all people, and it was done on.
Is it Polydor?
No, it wasn't. It was done on... I can't remember the name of the record. Step Through or Step Up or some records.
I think it's Step something. Oh dear.
I can't remember. It was...
Step Forward.
Step Forward records.
Step Forward.
Right, so they did it on that. Now, that was done on... that was done on an 8-track.
I see.
If I remember rightly. But now, I might have got this wrong. I think it was at that point they realised the band that Pursey got around him wasn't suitable.
Oh, I see.
And they... But I can't remember if it was before they did that record or after. But it was the same year, and literally they changed the whole band.
Yes.
They changed the whole band, so you ended up with the new what was called the classic lineup of Pursey, Parsons and
Bostic.
No Traguna. Bostic went.
Okay.
And was it Kane on the drums, then Smith on the drums?
Yeah, Spike Smith.
Yeah, so it was. Yeah, it was
like a bit of a musical go round.
It was like that, yeah, and then it was I Don't Wanna did well in the independent charts. It did quite well.
Yes.
The reason it did well is because Sham had got a good following.
Yes.
They'd got that really, really good following, and people went out and bought that single.
Wow.
And why wouldn't
Big
you?
up. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Enemy as well. Enemy had sort of written up about the band as well.
Yes. They did.
So they'd got press writing about them.
Yes.
They got all that, and then they signed to Polydor. Polydor again. Polydor,
wow.
yeah, Polydor. Now Polydor's a big label.
Oh yes, definitely.
It's all they signed. Bands
huge.
like Rainbow were on Polydor. Richie Blackmore's Rainbow.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. That band was a juggernaut of a band. Yeah.
Wow, and what was I going to say? The next single, 77 as well, Song of the Streets.
What have we got? Yeah.
Yes.
What have we got? Song of the Streets.
So also
yeah. What
known
have we
as,
got? Yeah.
Yes.
Now that was. I've got a feeling that was on Polydor, but don't quote me on that.
I'm not 100% on that.
No, I'm not. But Borstal Breakout was the first.
It was a year later in 78.
I've got a feeling that might have been the first single on Polydor actually.
Okay.
Which was a smash.
Yes.
And even that Borstal Breakout sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
The song is absolutely brilliant. I love that song. It's dirty and it's raw.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
You couldn't say stuff like that again. You couldn't say stuff like that these days.
Well, you couldn't because there's no such thing as Borstal anymore.
I know that.
Kids these days would have a meltdown. Although there's quite a few kids who need Borstal.
Yeah, you should bring it back in.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, I don't know. It's not for me to say anyway.
No, it's not for me either. In fact, don't bring it back actually.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
And then the same year, Angels with Dirty Faces.
Yeah, no, both those charted. They charted, but actually they did promo videos for those as well.
I see.
So when record companies start putting money into bands,
yes.
Not that it's not always a good thing to be with to get that main record deal.
Oh, I see.
But the whole point in producing records is you want to sell them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the whole point, surely. That's why you're in the band. Unless you're an idiot like me who thought differently, but
You just wanted to play gigs and not become famous or make it big.
Somehow, I don't know how that actually panned out. Actually, or how it actually pans out, but yeah, that was the whole sort of ethos behind
Was
my.
it just for shits and giggles, was it?
Pretty much, so yeah. Just for lots of beer and fun. Yeah, but there you go.
And your beer fetch and a bag of chips. Oh dear.
So yeah, enough about that. So
yes, it's back in the room.
Right, the trouble that they started attracting.
Oh, really through no fault of their own.
Well,
It just seemed to follow them, didn't it?
it seemed to, but yeah.
And Jimmy, he just didn't. He couldn't take any more. He just couldn't stand it. Well, who's to blame him anyway? All these people making so much trouble when he's trying to sing and perform to them.
After Angels with Dirty Faces, they did If the Kids Are United,
Yeah.
and then they did Hurry Up Harry,
Yes.
which was a rack of five consecutive chart hits where they appeared on Top of the Pops.
Yes, they did.
They also had a Peel session as well.
Okay.
Did you know?
I think yes. Actually, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
They had a Peel session.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
They had a Peel session, and I think they were lined up for another one as well. But they only got the one Peel session as far as I'm aware. But
Yes.
there you go. John Peel again for
I
you.
know.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. But by which time they've done up to 78, they've done 3 LPs.
Yes, wow.
So I think what we should do, we should have a break. And then we'll be back in a moment.
Come back. See you soon.
Ultimately, you start out on a small label and you have to go to a big one in order to make any real impact.
Well, you have to, in a certain sense, to borrow the money off of them to have enough money to go out and tour, to go out and hire the PA, to pay for the hotel. And it's all borrowed money. I mean, if you don't do any good, you don't get no money. But if you're doing all right, I mean, if you're selling records, then you're paying back the money you borrowed in the first place.
Yeah.
Whereas on Step Forward, they could never have lent us £2,000 to go out and do a tour.
Yeah.
Whereas Polydor could lend us.
How's it going to end up, though? I mean, are you going to end up living in Los Angeles
No way.
alongside Rod Stewart?
No way.
I mean, how's it going to end up, though? How do you see Sham 69
What it ends up is, as soon as I'm not happy anymore about what I'm doing, then I just jack it in.
Yeah, but they all say that, though, don't they, Jim?
Do they all say that?
Well, of course they do.
I don't know that about it, John. I mean,
Well,
I'm only speaking about myself.
No, I know, but I mean, how do you really think? I mean, if you go on being as successful as you are
The point is
now-
like this. The punk was dying until Sham 69 came along. Sham 69 came along and give life to punk. We give life to a lot of kids, right? We said to them, right, punk is not dead. Everybody was saying punk is dead, it's in the graveyard, they've got one foot in the grave. We said, no, it's not got one foot in the grave. You've only got to look now. You've got Jilted John on top of the Pops.
Yeah.
You've got Susie and the Banshees being played on Radio 1. You've got the Lurkers on top of the
Yeah,
Pops.
that's true.
They're all being given a chance now. Whereas if Sham 69 hadn't have said, right, we want to go on top of the Pops to prove that you're not going to sweep us under the carpet, you're not going to destroy us, it's far better going on top of the Pops. And an old lady saying, oh, what's that? You know, they go like, you know, get him off, you're not watching him. And the little kids say, yeah, I want to watch him. You know, don't you switch it off. Then go on and say a programme like Revolver, stuck at 11:15 at night. So you go on top of the Pops and there's kids from 10, right, to 15 that can't get in the gigs, can see it. But 11:15 on Revolver, they're not going to be able to see you. Because their mums are going to say, come on, son,
Off to bed.
bedtime now. You know, or they're down the discotheques.
Though it isn't something he welcomes, the band has become the principal focus for today's new skinheads, who repeatedly cause trouble at Sham's gigs. And there are signs that even Jimmy Pursey may be finding it all too much to handle.
They want a leader. They picked me as leader. I never wanted to be a leader. No way. All I wanted to be was a spokesman. All I wanted to be was get up on stage and say exactly what I was thinking.
But hasn't it got rather out of hand?
Of course it has. I mean, look at me. You've only got to look at me for an example to see how out of hands it's got.
I mean,
because
it
I'm
has,
not
but-
me anymore.
Whether Jimmy Pursey likes it or not, over the past year or so, more and more kids in London have been adopting the skinhead look and making him their figurehead. The Sham Army, as they've come to be known, have a growing reputation for violence both at Sham concerts and elsewhere. Skinhead fashion and behaviour are now being revived. But how does today's movement compare with the original skinhead era of the early 70s?
Also had this thing where you had hippies, right? And hippies who had long hair, rejected society, right? Which was the same type of thing as what punk is today. Rejecting society with the bondage and the pins and everything. So skinheads came about because they said, we want to work in the factories and do this and do that, same as what you want to do. But we want to show you what anarchy's really about.
It's gonna be a booster breakout!
Sham 69 may be said to have encouraged anarchy amongst their supporters in the past, although it is now something Jimmy Pursey is fighting to control.
Don't worry, baby, coming back for you. Sing it! Gonna be a booster breaker! Gonna be a booster breaker! Gonna be a booster breaker! Gonna be a booster.
Sham 69 and the new Skinheads came to the public's attention together. The band's success helped swell the ranks of the Skins, and their growing notoriety in turn sold more records for Sham. But success and the growth of the Sham army have brought their own problems for Pursey, who is anxious that the band should lose their present reputation. The street philosophy to which he tried to give expression has now turned against him. A hardcore of the audience repeatedly disrupt the band's gigs. Each feels betrayed by the other.
I've always believed that I want to get across to them kids, and they are the same as me, and I want to be a part of them. And whether anybody else likes it or dislikes it, I want to be the one, right, that tried at least. Whether I've failed now and I have to destroy whatever I've done, right, and get out, right, or I'll always be able to turn around and say, well, I tried. You kept kicking me in the mouth. So therefore, what the bloody hell do you expect a human being to possibly try and do?
The name of this band, Sham 69. There are a few people in this country that do not like us. Well, because of them, tonight is our last gig. This one is called Sham 69 is Innocent. News of the world's gonna write about us. All the papers and all their guff. We don't care what you say. We're Sham 69, okay. Sham 69 is innocent. Sham 69 is innocent. Sham 69 is innocent, okay.
They found out in an interview that I used to be a skinhead, right? So they said, oh, you know, we found a band at last, you know what I mean? So a couple of people got their hair cropped. Hence, like, loads of kids got their hair cropped because what happened was, it was the only way they could identify themselves, right, with being a Sham 69 fan, like, you know, cropped hair, oh, he's a Sham 69 fan, straight away. But what happened was, it defeated everything that I believed in. Because what happened was, I was going out on stage saying, look, mods are dead, this is dead, that's dead, anything's dead as soon as it's played, right? Because I believe, like, rock and roll died as soon as someone played it, because as soon as someone played it, someone copied it, it became commercial, so-and-so and so-and-so. And so, therefore, it's not a feeling anymore. So what happened was, I was going out, and there's all, you imagine, there's all these skinheads, and I'm having to say to these skinheads also, right, that you know, there's also the myth, like, you know, that goes around that, you know, 99% of people that follow Sham 69, like, you know, cropped hair, Dr. Martin boots, British Movement, National Front badges on, like, they go around kicking shit at everybody. Well, this is a fallacy, you know, and a lie, like, you know, because, and you've come to this small town like Sham, which on the map you can't even find, right? And you found, say, 20 to 30 kids that don't even know what the National Front means. And they follow Sham because they feel that they want to follow Sham because of the music they play and what we believe in.
The majority of the kids who go to Sham gigs are just ordinary 14 and 15-year-olds following the latest fashion. Hardly angels, but not the National Front fanatics of popular mythology either. Jimmy Pursey, the victim of an increasingly vicious adulation, knows why.
Kids today miss out, right, on that form of rebellion, right, that was again. Why did the TEDs come about again last year, right? Because there's no more music to follow. What music can follow now? What can we follow now? Saturday Night Fever, that was obvious that was only going to last for 5 minutes flat, right? Because everybody knows that you can't grab Saturday Night Fever. You can only live it out at the discotheque, right? Which is another type of thing of picking the birds up at the discos, which has been going on for yonks and yonks and yonks. But it was no form of rebellion, right? But a kid can walk down the street with cropped hair. A punk can walk down the street, right? And an old lady say, look at that idiot with purple hair or something like that. But if a woman doesn't look at a skinhead in the same light, she says, oh God, you know, is he going to smash somebody up, or what's going on? And they're afraid. And also, that the kids know of this, that it's got this frightening element about it. If you watch If, Clockwork Orange, Oh Lucky Man, they're the three things that sum up what could happen, right? But they're also, there's got to be an epilogue and one after, right? To sum all them three up in one whole thing, because it bloody can happen, because that is exactly what I've been going on about, singing in them songs and going on and on and on about. Because I've said to you in this interview today, in 24 years, you've had all these little tribes come about, right? And it's changed in 10 years, in 5 years, in a year. It's getting quicker and quicker and quicker, and the kids cannot handle what is going on. They cannot. They keep classing us. Like, everybody around us keeps putting us in the football hooligan category, right? When I wrote a song called Kids United, right, they said it was a football chant song. I didn't write that because I researched into a commodity of writing a song for football hooligans or trying to be the next Slade, right? I wrote that song because I'm Jimmy Pursey. I was in a band that wanted to get across to kids of today, right? But no, they chuck me they chuck me on the floor and they keep jumping on me and hitting me. But I keep trying to get back up and saying, no, you're not going to bury me.
Hey, welcome back everybody. I hope you enjoyed that little interlude-doody.
Interlude-doody.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, certainly hope you did, guys. So, the trials and tribulations and the troubles of Sham 69. So, there, right, so 3 LPs in my opinion, 3 LPs, tell us the truth. That's Life and the Adventures of the Hersham Boys.
Okay.
For me, that's where it's at.
Ah, right.
That's the classic Sham. 2 in 78, then the latter in 79.
Yes.
Right. They were... It's common knowledge, isn't it? It's common knowledge that the shows were racked with violence.
Oh gosh, yes.
Like horrible violence.
Gosh.
Horrific violence. Now,
It's like you wouldn't believe.
Pursey walked away from that.
He did.
And I would say, right now, I'm not in his shoes.
No.
I would say that was the wrong thing to do.
It's just how he felt at the time, really.
It's how he felt.
His personal experience.
What I'll say is, Combat 84 didn't walk away from it.
Okay.
Cockney Rejects, who were absolutely... They were plagued. They didn't walk away from it. They stood there and fought.
Oh yeah.
They fought back and they went, "Fuck you! We're not. You know, we don't want your politics in our concerts."
We're not going to bow down to them.
No, the music was all about. So the music was all about everyday life. That's what it's about.
Yes.
It's not about. It's not the politics. If the politics go into it, it's because that was part of the everyday life.
Yes.
But it's not about. It's not about extreme right or extreme left. It's
about your experiences in how you live.
And that, should it be that? I don't know. Or should it be that? I don't know.
Well, it is what it is.
Well, these don't forget, these guys were street punks, so they weren't your typical middle class.
They weren't, were they?
Art college, they weren't your typical art college sort of punk band like the Sex Pistols were, or they weren't that. They weren't your typical sort of educated in suburbia, and we've had like a relatively okay life. Mummy and Daddy have a car, between them. Yeah, it wasn't that. They were working class.
They totally were.
And they were representing working class people as well. And working class people, especially skinheads, which is a working class culture through and through, identified with that band.
Yes, definitely.
But the only problem is at that point in time, the British movement and the National Front were recruiting. They were
left, right, and centre.
Recruiting, grooming, same difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
And grooming more than anything.
Yeah. But if you want to believe in those politics, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I've got no problem with people believing that.
Just keep it over there.
Yeah, and I've got no problem with
Out of
people.
my
I've got
face.
no problem with people believing they're a communist for some reason.
That's up to them.
Yeah, exactly. Again, that's up
Right.
to them. If you wanna believe in that and starve yourself, that knock yourself out. If you want to believe that, you know, your whole world's white, knock yourself out. You know, that's good for you. But don't enforce it on other people and bring it into music.
Gosh,
and the problem is, you brought it into music. Those kids who've got nothing to grab onto apart from the music which they're grabbing onto.
Oh yes.
See
The
something.
dear life.
Well, they see something to belong to.
Yes, they do.
It's the belonging. It's like when you go to a football match and then you belong to the gang.
Yes.
You run with that crew. You run with that gang. It's the same thing. It's the feeling of having an identity, the feeling of being valued, and the feeling of being wanted.
Oh yes.
That's exactly that.
That's it. And you're impressionable at that age. At a very young age.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to latch
Yeah.
on to whatever.
Well, you will
comes
do
your way.
when you have nothing and somebody offers you something and they go, do you know what? If you do this, you can actually get something.
That's it.
You might just take that offer.
That's it. You're going to say, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
But
later on down the line, you're going to see.
But no, it's not always incorrect. That's what I'm saying. It's not always incorrect. If people want to do that, like I say, do that, but don't enforce it on other people.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Was the enforcement of it and the ruining of other people's enjoyment of it.
Gosh, man. I think Jimmy Pursey, maybe it was something to do with his personal life. That's why he sort of stepped away. Maybe
he didn't like it.
I'm just guessing.
He didn't like it at all.
No,
no, and who would like it?
No.
But then what I would say is, going to that concert with the Clash, Rock Against Racism.
Oh, he sang with the Clash.
Yeah, it's just
It's
like
an about turn.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, and it's not a problem if you want to do that.
That's it.
But my problem is with that is you've just stood on stage and you've told a load of people, don't preach your rotten politics at me. And then what do? You go up on stage and you preach the other half to other people.
Maybe I think he might have been a little confused.
And again, I'm gonna say something, you know, and I'm gonna say something that's gonna be hugely unpopular.
Okay.
But
hear it.
Cultural appropriation.
Oh yes, that's.
It's not, as a white person, it's not for me to say what black people are thinking.
That's it.
Because I don't know.
No.
And it's not for black people to say what white people are thinking. And it's not for right wing people to say what left wing people are thinking, and left wing people to vice versa. It's not that, and it's not for me to rubbish somebody else's opinion.
It isn't.
Just have your own dirty frigging opinion, and you know that's fine. Everyone's got one.
And then rock and roll on.
Yeah, exactly. But it should be where the music is.
Yes, oh yes.
And I don't know if that was the problem. I don't know if that put a lot of fans off. But what did put a lot of fans off Mrs. Moonstomper was their fourth LP, The Game.
Oh yes, The Game.
Which was different, to say the least. So they went from...
Took a turn, and it turned a corner somewhat.
It did turn a corner, so it went from sort of street punk to almost rock music.
Oh yes. This was 1980, wasn't it?
It was 1980, but, you know, so big sort of what you call stadium rock, that was pretty much down the pan. So your Emerson, Lake and Palmers, your Deep Purples, your Led Zeppelins, your Rainbows, those huge super groups, those were sort of waxing and waning.
Oh yes.
And the new wave of British heavy metal, that had just kicked in, and that was really popular. But then you got Oi that had just kicked in as well.
Oh yes.
And
Oi.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
But they turned to more of a sort of rock style.
Yes, they
and
did.
A lot of the fans turned their back on them because of that. Even Jimmy Pursey.
Oh, he said it was like rubbish.
It's in about 8 or 9 years later, he turned around and he goes, "Oh, it's kind of crap."
Yeah.
But that's when he that's pretty much when he left the band, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
1980.
Left the band and he went to perform a solo career for a bit.
Yes, he did.
But he had a bit of a spot with the Sex Pistols.
Okay.
But he joined up with, but it was called Sham Pistols.
Oh yes.
And it was only like it was a short-lived thing. I think it was with Steve Jones and Paul Cook.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
No,
not
right.
feeling that. But he had a stab at producing as well, and produced the Rejects.
I see.
So he had a stab at that.
Mm.
But then he did his own sort of, what was his own?
He started on a documentary as well.
Was it DOA?
DOA.
DOA,
This
yeah,
was the
something.
same year, 1980.
But
Yeah.
with the rich kids Generation X and the
X-ray Specs and Iggy Pop and the Stooges, the Clash, even
champagne socialism at its best. Generation X.
yes. That's when Billy Idol was in the Generation X.
I just think that
Then
not for my thank you. Not for my. The only one I really Iggy Pop.
Yes.
For being an OG, and the Sex Pistols for taking it to the next level for England. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean the rest of them, the Clash, X-Ray Specs, and
Polystyrene as a singer.
yeah, I mean it was just all right, but it was just yeah, it was
That's
just
it.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Did they not have a fanzine magazine as well, or something? Was it fanzine?
Yes.
So it was
in back to 1977, which was issued in California, which was a glossy magazine.
Well, wasn't that done? Did I hear that was done in the photocopier or something?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Wow.
It produced 100,000 copies.
Xeroxed on 100,000 copies of a
Yes.
fanzine magazine. That is ridiculous.
That's it. And then I think later on down the line, it became a glossy magazine.
You'd think for 100,000 copies, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Really? It
Yeah.
needs to be. Yeah.
Well, they interviewed Pursey anyway for that magazine.
So in that interview, where he rubbishes the game, what he forgets to mention is their LP Volunteer, where Pursey and Parsons reformed in '87,
Yes.
and how weird that was. Oh, it
Okay.
really weird. That sounded nothing like Sham '69.
Completely different. It wasn't like them, was it?
It was. Do you know when the Anti Nowhere League did that sort of LP where they look like Aha or something?
Oh
I'm like,
yes.
whoa, whoa, guys, no.
Oh, that song.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, it's like that. It's just like you listen to one bit, you think, hang on a
Proper
moment.
term, and that's the hell of a term.
What it is, you get the LP home, you put it on the turntable because you don't look at the label. You look at all the artwork, don't look at the label, and you go, hang on, I've got the right fucking record there. Yeah,
Somebody switched me records right to the
that
same.
actually happened to me once.
Oh really?
Where they put like a classical music album vinyl inside a Motörhead one. And I go, what the fucking hell's that?
Oh my God.
Take it back. Yeah, it did.
Flipping
Yeah.
Oh,
So
dear.
right, so they've been on and off, haven't they?
Yes,
They've been on and off, but Pursey. Right. So later on, Pursey had a sort of habit of, especially in I think it was in the 20-teens or something.
Oh, what's this?
Right, they actually got rid of Pursey
Yes.
because he just got a habit of like cancelling at the last minute, going,
Flipping heck.
can't do that concert. Yeah.
He went solo at one point, didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the same.
No.
It's not the same.
And then he went on to do a bit of artistry.
I think, yeah. So that was in the VT, I think, where he's selling
His
his
paintings.
Yeah, okay, fair dues.
Oh dear
Right.
me.
So yeah, I've got nothing else on this band that I can think of.
Okay. The bobbins are sort of spinning
No.
dry again.
Nothing
in my
else. No. So.
No.
All right. Well, what have we got coming up next week then, Mrs. Moonstomper?
It could be a number of things, couldn't it?
It could be.
Angelic Upstarts. Maybe.
Maybe not.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not. Could
The
be.
Business.
It could be the business. It could be the last resort.
Last resort.
Mhm.
Who knows?
Yeah. or it could be Blitz,
Even.
or who knows?
Who knows?
Or it could be Evil Conduct, or Haymaker, or the Sex Pistols.
Yes.
It could be any one of those. In fact, guys, just tune in next week.
That's it,
You will see it on the thumbnail.
You have to keep tuned.
Midweek, you'll see it on the thumbnail.
Yes.
And don't forget. I think the end of sort of, I don't know, sort of after Easter or something like that. We've got
for St George's.
Oh, we've got a St.
George's
George's Day special, but we've also got a giveaway as well. So don't forget the giveaway. It's a fantastic olive green MA1 jacket as the top prize.
Wow.
It's in large only, and it's brand spanking new in the wrappers, and we need to give it to a good home.
Yes.
Because that's been hanging around the studio for ages.
It's been begging.
And your special prize, which was
That fleecy blanket.
and 2 cushion
Throws
covers.
And 2 cushion covers, yes.
Moonstomper original logo, of course.
Yeah, man.
And
Like this.
I had a t-shirt as well.
Oh, yes.
T-shirt.
Another t-shirt?
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
a t-shirt with a difference. So you'll have to wait and see. But it will be a
Gonna love
Moonstomper
it,
original
man.
t-shirt. Hopefully you will. Fingers crossed. So, anything else, Mrs. Moonstomper?
Come on. Come on. Hurry up, Moon Stompers. Come on.
We're going down the pub. Goodbye, goodbye. Just joking. Right, yeah. So, I've got nothing else. No?
Nah. Oh, no.
So, guys, as ever, you've been amazing.
That's it. Good to see you, Moon Stompers.
If you haven't subscribed, press that button. It doesn't cost you a penny. And you will really be helping us out, guys. Helping us out more than you will ever know. And if you subscribed and if you said nothing, get down in the comments, put an oi or an oi oi, and where you're from in the world, and we'll give you an oi oi back.
That's it. Otherwise, they'll come and scream down your lug holes really loud.
Mrs. Moonstomper told you that, so there you go. I'd be very worried about that. I get screamed at every day. Right, so, anything else?
See how you like it?
No, I don't.
You didn't bounce.
Yeah, that's because you hit my arm. You didn't hit the what's
Didn't,
Oh, there you go. It's on camera. Actually.
Liar, pants on fire.
Right, so I've got nothing else.
No.
So there you go.
I ain't.
Guys, until the next time, I'll be Mr. Moonstomper. As ever, peace out. Love you all.
Mrs. Moonstomper says, love you all. Bless yous. Goodbye.
Listen, for fuck's sake. I'm sick of making speeches all the time. Every time I come to a gig, I've got to make a speech about fucking fighting. Every fucking time. Do you know what I think? Because I have to do these fucking speeches and fucking think, oh, he don't mean it. He's only doing it because it makes him a lot bigger, you know what I mean? I don't want to fucking keep saying, stop fighting, stop fighting. Just fucking enjoy yourselves for a change.
Kids, get to grips.